so excited to talk to you. I really am. Thanks for joining us today.
Happy to be here.
I'll tell you, one of the things I admire so much about you, Lizzo, is that you seem to live your life with zero fear. I mean, zero. Does it feel that way to you as well? And if so, I got to know who instilled that in you, because I'm trying to teach that to my kids right now.
Oh, well, I actually am afraid a lot.
Like
I
what? Yeah,
think,
that's
I mean, I have a lot of anxiety and I have anxiety, like irrational anxiety. And I think that like what you're seeing isn't necessarily this like natural born fearlessness
mhm,
as more as just like the pursuit of it and conquering fear. I think you're
mhm.
seeing me conquering my fears, which I think is even more powerful, than if I were just wow, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
When you say you conquer that fear, is it a daily fight for you to fight this anxiety?
Yes. Yes. And I have tools in my tool
Mhm.
kit, and it also gets better. Like I'm definitely much better, but like breathing is really
Uh-huh.
important, and like reminding myself and having those like constant reminders that I'm okay and that I'm protected and that I'm blessed and that everything's going to be fine, and really believing that every day, every day.
Are you comfortable talking about this anxiety? Because I've never suffered from it, but I would really like to know more about it. And I know a lot of our listeners do too. Are you comfortable with that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm an open book of sorts.
So are there triggers for this anxiety, or is it just this boiling kind of almost like you're waiting for something bad to happen and it becomes overwhelming?
Ooh, that's deep. Are we in
Yeah, right.
therapy right now?
Well, my mom was
Um,
a therapist, so I got it in my blood somewhere.
yeah, you definitely do.
Right.
I think there are certain triggers, and you know what's so wild is one of the triggers is like good things. Like
Hmm,
if something good happens, I'm like, is this gonna get taken away from me?
hmm.
Am I gonna lose this? Or is something bad about to happen now that something good has happened? I'm always kind of like self-sabotaging good
Hmm.
things with like the fear of something bad happening right afterwards.
Well, you've had so many amazing things happen over the last couple of years that,
So
um,
I'm fucking terrified if you can if you
like
can imagine.
what is like if we're going to attack like the worst thing that can happen? Is it like all this goes away, or what is that fear?
No, no. Damn. I think it's more like I don't want to like, and I also don't want to speak anything into existence. I think
Yeah,
it's just
right.
about like, I mean, I've had a lot of loss of the things that mattered to me.
Hmm.
I feel like if I lost all my awards, I'd be fine if I have my friends and my family.
Hmm.
I think, you don't want to lose the things that matter. But all of this career stuff is great, and it could easily just go away tomorrow.
Right.
And I'm fully prepared for that.
Do
I
you
have
all?
a backup plan.
What's the backup plan? What are you
i'm
going to
gonna
do?
i'm gonna be a TikToker.
Are you okay? I'd sign up right now. If there was no, like, let's say this whole social media thing and the celebrity thing goes away, right? So, if you were going to pursue something that you really love that had nothing to do with entertainment, TikTok, or anything like that, what would it be?
I think that I would either, well, I mean, I guess that still counts as, there's two things that I would say. One might still count as entertainment, which would be I would be a writer. I wanted
Mhm.
to when I was a kid, I wanted to be an author, a novelist. Um, but or I would cook. I would
Yeah.
definitely cook.
You good in the
Mhm.
kitchen?
I love making people feel good with food.
You make people feel good all the time. What is like the most touching thing a fan has ever said to you that in a way that has in that you had an influence on their life?
It was someone who had come to one of my shows, and at my shows I say, look in the mirror and say, I love you, you're beautiful, and you can do anything. Say it 3 times to yourself every single day. I know it feels funny,
Mm.
but do it. um they tweeted, I went to a Lizzo show and she said to do that. And it felt awkward at first, but it really works when you speak kindly to yourself every single day. It's amazing how much kinder you are, and less harsh you are, and how much less negative speak
Hmm.
you do to yourself, negative self speak you do. And she was just imploring everyone to do it and to really do it because it works. And for me, I was like, that one person that I touched that night, that was the part, that was the purpose, that was the point.
Just that you can change somebody's life, the trajectory of their life from here to here has got to feel so empowering for you.
Well, they're changing their life. I'm just a player in it. I'm just the soundtrack, which is even more of an honor.
So you got so many exciting things going on right now. The new album, I believe, comes out July 15th. Do I have that right?
Yes.
All right. Tell us all about Special.
Special is an incredible, no skips classic album full of beautiful music written by your girl, executive produced by your girl Lizzo. And I had so much fun making it. It is an album that is just all about love. I feel like all these albums in the past have been like, I love myself. I promise I love myself and I'm going to love myself. And this album is just like that confidence that you have when you've just been like, I worked for this. It's that I worked for this and look how much love I'm receiving, I think is what this album is all about. It's the stop, drop, and celebrate how far you've come album of the year.
Beautiful. Well, I think we hear executive producer thrown around a lot, and I'm in radio, and I never quite understand what that means when it comes to an artist with their own music. What does that mean? What does that mean, and where's the pride in that?
I get it. It is important to me. So basically, it was facilitating, and I've had incredible help along the way. Ricky Reed, my A&R, with a lot of the songs on this album, but really it's like choosing the songs for the album, choosing the sequence for the album, going over like the mixes, sitting in the room with the songwriters and producers and being like, this is the vision. That is what the EP title really means to me. And honestly, like, it doesn't do much for me on the business side of it, but it means a lot to me because I've studied music for so long that, like, as a woman, it's important for me to let people know what the fuck I'm doing back there. Right. I'm doing a lot.
This is such an interesting peek into music because I think that most people just assume that's done by the artist anyway. Like on your first album or your seventh album, do you earn that right with success? Because it sounds like you didn't have that opportunity or that control in the beginning of your career.
Well, I definitely did. It just wasn't seen. I feel like with my project, Big Girl, Small World, I executive produced a lot of that. I shared the executive production, but that album, anyways, it doesn't matter.
I just don't feel like anybody can walk into a studio and tell you shit, or an office or tell you shit. And I kind of feel like it's been like that since day one. That's my impression anyway.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But you do, when it comes to like a major label, you do have to kind of like prove yourself. And it's like, hey, but I had the good fortune of being able to prove myself pretty early on,
right?
Because I came to Atlantic Records with a built-in crowd or built-in fan base, and I already had discographies, and I was very clear about my vision as an artist. Like, nobody had to come in and artist develop me. I'm an artist. You don't got to develop it. So I think that put me in a very unique position where I could call some shots early on.
And I just feel like you just are the kind of person that everybody pulls for. I certainly feel that way. I want this album to kick ass for you. You've already kind of debuted About Damn Time, right, on the BET Awards?
Yes.
And that's
it did very well.
Of course it did. Of course it did. Well, good luck on July 15th. Pleasure talking to you. You are so inspirational to so many. It's just great hanging out with you. I appreciate your time.
Thank you. Have a great day.
And I'm gonna charge you about $150 for that therapy session at the top of this interview.
Oh my goodness.
Bill's
You know,
coming.
Oh, and you're gonna get a big fat tip too.
All right. Thanks, Lizzo.
The Bert Show.